and getting mentally prepared to compete. You see the focus. You feel the energy. These guys are ready to go. The beaches of Santa Monica and Venice, not too far from our setting today, the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us for NBA action on 2K Sports. Our game tonight featuring the Portland Trail Blazers as they go up against the Los Angeles Clippers here at the Staples Center. With Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. And joining us on the sidelines, another Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. Short a rotation player, nothing that they can't overcome, but it does shrink their margin for error just a bit.
Missing a valued contributor, that can be a challenge. We'll see how they answer the bell.
The starters for the Portland Trail Blazers, the high-powered backcourt pair, Lillard and McCollum. Robert Covington out there with Norman Powell, and it's Nurkic in at the 5. And for the Clippers, Morris is out there with Ivica Zubac. Then it's Paul George, then it's Patrick Beverley, and it's Leonard in at the 3 spot. And Doris, tonight, 2 experienced teams will be battling.
Well, what you come to expect with experienced rosters are excellent defensive rotations, game plan discipline. These guys know how to play the game, so let's see how this plays out.
It'll be Los Angeles off the tip. Pass to Zubac. Leonard with the ball. Outside, George. Over McCollum. Offensive rebound. Second shot opportunity. Goes up again. Outside for George. Clippers moving the ball around. Clock at 6. This one for 3. It's good from long range.
Well, we knew that Paul George was a long-limbed, exceptional defender coming out of Fresno. His offense, though, has been impressive from the time he has stepped between the lines on the NBA level.
And so the Los Angeles Clippers get the first points of the ballgame. Lillard from outside. It's hauled in by Zubac. Clippers have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. And Kawhi Leonard with a very analytical approach, Doris, to the game. Studies angles, movement, trying to groove in on perfect mechanics. I mean, he does it all.
Yeah, Kev, that goes back to his favorite high school subject, which was math. And think about how precisely he has built his game. He started at the free throw line, then went to the low post, and now has added the range game. Very analytic approach.
Here's Beverley after the made shot from Robert Covington. Zubac kicks to George. McCollum against Leonard. Back to George. Now here's Leonard. He's guarded closely. Over McCollum. Again, Los Angeles.
Well, we know this about Kawhi Leonard. He can score at all 3 levels, taking advantage of the mid-range game there.
And a wide open look for McCollum. A 3-pointer off the mark.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Outside Leonard. Back to Beverley. Pass to Zubac. And here's Beverley. Outside Leonard. An easy 2 points on the layup. Leonard's got his second basket.
Oh, good luck stopping that. Kawhi Leonard, huge, strong hands, in total command of the basketball. Go ahead.
Now here's Lillard. First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play.
And for someone who spends most of his time on the perimeter, Lillard's a terrific finisher inside. His moves to the basket aren't tentative. They are strong.
Covington against Morris. To the paint, here's Leonard. Bucket number 3. He's a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
McCollum against George. And it's McCollum off the drive. And McCollum with the slam.
I mean, call him a combo guard to whatever. McCollum is a scorer first and foremost, and when he puts it on the deck, young fella is going to the hoop.
Leonard, no luck. Trailblazers trail by 5. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, I caught up with the Blazers head coach. We talked about the problems Paul George can cause with his defense. Coach told me the sets we run with longer passes, those need to be adjusted. George is a ball hawk and changes how you operate on the perimeter. If there's one thing we know about PG-13 guys, is that he feasts on lazy cross-court passes. Back to you.
All right, thank you, David. And here's Leonard. After Damian Lillard was able to get the 3 to go. Misses the wing J.
And this is a shot he can definitely make, and the defense not a factor at all.
George against McCollum. And there it is for him.
Nice touch there from McCollum. Looking comfortable and confident from that range.
And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. Nicholas Batum. He's checked in for the Clippers. And the Trailblazers making a change here as well. Cantor's checked in. There's 47 seconds left here in the first quarter. McCollum against George. And out of bounds as the Clippers gain possession. .40 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Now here's Beverly. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Passes it to George. And Beverly kicks to George. Just 5 to shoot. Over McCollum. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. George has got 7. And here's Lillard. He brings it up for the Portland Trailblazers. Trailing by 2. Fires for 3. Drills it from outside.
That's one of the reasons Lillard is out there. He gives you that deep threat.
Now George inside and stolen by Lillard. And so it's Damian Lillard making things happen for the Portland Trailblazers. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. We come back right after this. And before the game, we ran into Damian Lillard, who touched upon the team's camaraderie.
What we've learned is staying together, staying with it, staying positive, and just being consistent, in our work and our preparation. It shines through, and, it hasn't failed us yet.
And Greg, of course, he helps keep everyone on the same page.
He communicates well with his teammates, and he listens. That's why they trust him. The discussions go both ways.
And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. What stands out to you guys from the Trailblazers so far in this one?
Well, the offense is clicking, and they seem to have seized the momentum here early on.
Boy, it's been a really pretty thing to watch, executing their game plan to perfection.
Here are the 5 Portland has to start the second quarter. Pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Enes Kanter is out there with Anthony, and it's Powell in at the 3, the small forward. Greg, who are your favorite players to watch in the NBA?
Boy, that's a tough one. You gotta like the guys that have changed the game in some regards, right? Steph, KD, and Giannis. Those are 3 guys that are just doing things that don't seem normal.
True.
Then others who remind you of past greatness. Jason Tatum with Kobe, or maybe an Anthony Davis with Hakeem, and those are guys that I love. And then the other guy, listen, LeBron James. I could watch him play basketball every day. To do what he's done at this stage of his career, I just think it's incredible, and I think our game is in great shape.
Agree on all counts.
Well, to me, guys, you've got to know who you are. And Enes Kanter has a great sense of what he does well. Excellent low post game, superb rebounder, understands how to use his body. I love this guy.
Batum for 3. No good on that one. Now the Trailblazers take it the other way. Lillard outside. Off target from three-point range.
You will not see this guy miss many of those. He's one of the keys to their floor spacing.
And Enes Kanter picks up the foul. That's his first foul. And a chance there to look back at the stunning mobile one block a moment ago.
And he's all over that shot. Has it read the whole way and gets the position he needs to make a play.
Leonard, that's for two. And a little luck that time, but it drops. Leonard's got 8 points.
Leonard doesn't give the defense time to react. His catch-and-shoot game is on point.
He gets a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Kevin, good evening. The Clippers were picked by many to win the title last year. Now, they didn't get it done, but Kawhi Leonard is not concerned. He said, "We've just got to keep getting better, keep fighting. It's about the right team peaking at the right time." Guys are hoping this season their talent and their fight will win out. Back to you.
We will see. Good stuff, D.A. Thanks. Here's McCollum after Rajon Rondo's bucket. The pass to Lillard. Wide open look. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. Lillard's got the lead up to 3 now for the Trailblazers.
Well, Norman Powell these last several seasons has turned himself into a knockdown shooter. And obviously last season much more involved on the offensive end. And that, to me, was his best performance to date.
And those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten here in the first half.
Rondo against Lillard. Kanter, high post. Down low. Here's McCollum. And it's sent back by George.
How about the timing from Paul George on that rejection? Twice on the pipes.
From past the arc. Can't hit that one. Now the Trailblazers take it the other way.
And with Powell, they rely on his shooting to open things up for everyone else.
Yeah, and for Norman Powell, he knows what he's about and welcomes that role. This is a guy who understands how to relocate in the midst of plays to create separation from defenders. He's always ready in catch-and-shoot situations.
And Kawhi Leonard, one of the league's most dominant rebounders, Doris, from the wing position.
Board man gets paid. That was his motto from back in high school and college. It's all about hard work and earning your keep, according to Kawhi.
Jackson, he's checked in for Rajon Rondo. And a switch here also for Portland. Jones is checked in. The free throw drops for Leonard.
Well, you think back to draft day in 2011. It was quiet then. It became loud as his career went on. But the Spurs get the draft rights to Kawhi Leonard on that day for George Hill. Incredible.
Now here's Anthony. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. A three from McCollum. Buries it from three-point range. And the Trailblazers lead by 1.
You know, you love your star players making others better, and Melo with the vision there.
Jackson passes to Leonard. Stolen by McCollum. Over George. Nice spin off the left rim and in. Now it's a 3-point Portland lead.
This guy is cooking right now. He is leading them on the offensive end as they remain in front here.
A nice shot by George.
Silky, smooth jumper from Paul George, and he just lets it fly whenever he gets free from that spot.
Pass to Kanter. Here's McCollum. It's hauled in by the Clippers.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical. And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
For Los Angeles, they have shot just 1 free throw earlier, 1 for 1 in the game.
Yeah, and 79% from the line as a team a season ago. Pretty reliable in that regard.
The Trailblazers making a switch here. Covington's checked in. Free throw good from Kawhi Leonard. 1:11 left in the second quarter. So timeout called here, the first for Portland. You have to like what we're seeing so far from Kawhi Leonard.
And he's just attacking the rim with force here. They need to try and deny him the ball in the paint to keep him away from the basket.
Nurkic checked in for Portland. 1:07 left in the first half of basketball. Left side, Covington. McCollum kicks to Jones. McCollum against George. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
Beyond the leaning, you could see his feet weren't set on that screen. Easy call.
You know, he's just leaning a little bit. You try to get away with it, but boy, the official all over it.
Outside Leonard. And here's Covington. McCollum outside. And he's good on the three ball. McCollum's got the game tied up here for the Trailblazers.
We know this about Robert Covington. He is a team man first and foremost. Pretty pass.
To the middle and stolen by Lillard. And here we go. Trailblazers with a fast break. Lillard with the ball. And here's George. He'll bring it up for the Clippers. Back to Jackson. Back to George. Three-pointer. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. Kawhi Leonard has been on display for Los Angeles. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Kawhi, you have grown so much offensively throughout your career. What's the focus of that end of the floor?
Just knocking down open shots, my ball handling, and making good decisions off the pick and roll, and just try to limit my turnovers.
And you've done well so far, Kawhi. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and the Jet, Kenny Smith. Let's get to it. Kawhi Leonard is having one of those nights. He had 14 points. And you think about how Kawhi Leonard is able to dominate from the wing position at both ends of the floor. It has some comparing him, but wait for it, move to the GOAT, Michael Jordan. Kenny, you buying what I'm sort of selling?
No, man, there's not enough in your store to buy that, man. I'll tell you, but he is good. He's got strength to get to his spots, the elbow, the post, the back down. They got some common threads, but that's not the same sweater.
Look, he plays at his own pace. Jordan is Jordan, but Kawhi's an all-time great in his own right, but I wouldn't say he's Mike.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take you down to Kevin Harlan.
Shout out to my main man, Joel.
Joel, what up?
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
He had a fast pass to the lane that first half, got inside on demand.
Now, this guy is such a good finisher on the move, and so far the defense has not been able to counter it.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. Taking a look at Los Angeles, they've got Morris, Patrick Beverly out there with Paul George. Then it's Ivica Zubac, and it's Leonard in at the small forward position. Shot clock at 3. Covington's shot is off.
Listen, we know the mid-range game is in this guy's arsenal, but you wonder, should he have moved it just one pass more?
Morris finds George over McCollum, and there's Paul George on the assist by Morris. George has got the first field goal of the second half for the Clippers. And Paul George, Doris, kind of a late bloomer coming up in high school. His older sister used to give him the business on the blacktop. Of course, eventually, he found his stride, and the rest is history.
It took some encouraging from older sis and his high school coach, who actually had to threaten him with running suicides to get the guy to shoot more. And think about it. This guy plays his college basketball at mid-major Fresno State. That's really where he got onto the NBA radar.
And he knocks down the first one. Greg, is a broadcaster, who have been some of your favorite personalities to cover?
Man, that's a great question. You know, most of the stars, I'm a big fan of Durant and Steph and LeBron and those guys. Chris Paul's another one that's a favorite. So many other guys, you know, there's so much more personality and so much more confidence these guys have working in front of the camera. I think that just makes for a better experience.
Somebody asked me the other day, who was my favorite? You know who I said?
Who was that?
Greg Anthony.
Oh, you're just saying that because it's true.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
What a terrific take to the rim. Paul George is just giving it to the defense right now. Tenacious on that drive.
It's his first trip to the line. And the first one drops.
Now, you love the energy out there. Paul George is an extremely confident, extremely versatile player, and he brings a great level of activity to both ends.
And George drops them both.
The way he's shooting free throws tonight, you simply don't want to put him there.
Portland trailing here. Here's Lillard. He's got 15. It's McCollum on the wing, and it's out of bounds to Portland. They'll retain possession. An outstanding defensive play to earn the mobile one block.
And read the play perfectly. Gets himself in the air at the right moment. Terrific denial.
On defense, the Clippers. It's McCollum on the wing. For the lead. That ball is good for another field goal. His 6th. He is 6 for 9 on the stat sheet. Guys, close one here. No team getting a huge advantage.
Yeah, tooth and nail fight so far, guys. These sides match up really well.
Now here's Leonard. 14 points for him. And oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. In the corner, Powell with it. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. And it's Leonard with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. Leonard draws the double. Pass to Zubac. Leonard against Powell. Leonard attacking. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And the foul goes against Portland.
One of the key aspects for Kawhi Leonard's scoring per game is his ability to get to the free throw line. This guy lives there.
These are his 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. The first free throw is good. So for the Clippers, Patterson comes in for Ivica Zubac. Rajon Rondo subbed in for George. Cantor checked in for Portland. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson comes in for McCollum. Leonard hits them both. Portland's gone 6 of 11 when they've taken the three-point shot tonight. Very respectable. It's stolen by Morris. Covington against Rondo. To the inside, Morris. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Robert Covington picks one up.
Well, Marcus Morris is a guy who is unafraid of a little contact. That's a nice play right there.
The Clippers shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight. That free throw good for Morris. And Morris drops them both.
You know, there's a toughness and an energy about Marcus Morris that elevates any team he plays for. This guy is an incredible teammate.
Now here's Lillard. 15 points in the game. Here's Cantor. And he drops it in from the low post.
Well, it's easy to say. This guy wanted it more, creating the second chance opportunity and cashing in.
Rondo with the ball. 3 minutes gone now in the third quarter. And it's Patterson finishing it off.
Well, I think he's known as a pick-and-roll defender, but Patrick Patterson taking advantage on the offensive end. Good timing, good execution.
Now here's Lillard. High post try, and that's good for 2. Lillard's got 17 now.
Well, there's an unpredictability to his offensive game. He is always keeping the defense off balance.
Rondo bounce pass. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. Leonard draws the double. Back to Rondo. Inside, Morris. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And this is his second trip to the line tonight.
Shooting for Los Angeles, Marcus Morris.
Free throw good for Morris. Nicholas Batum. He's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And Morris drops them both. Third quarter action, and just under 3.5 minutes have gone. Powell, the pass to Hollis Jefferson. Lillard from outside. Again, the miss by Lillard.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
Pass to Patterson. Rondo against Lillard. Rondo looking over the floor. And the Clippers miss again.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
Chalk up 2 there. Cantor's got 4 this quarter.
Well, that's about court awareness. Hollis Jefferson playing very well within the confines of this offense.
Beverly, the pass to Patterson. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
When a pick like that is questionable and creates that much of an advantage for the offense, you have to blow the whistle.
I don't think there's any question. There are so many rules that favor the offense these days. You've got to be able to equal things out when an illegal screen is set.
Jones checked in for the Trailblazers. Now here's Covington. Cantor trying to free himself up. Covington with the bucket. Covington's got his second bucket.
This is about perseverance and passion. Robert Covington refuses to be denied.
Rondo dishes to Patterson. Back to Rondo. Six to shoot. Batum wide open. He fires. And yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. And the Clippers lead by 1. Portland's gone 1 of 4 in 3-point shots here in the third. Rondo against Lillard. Now the pass to Cantor. There's the triple. Hands it from downtown. Cantor's got 8 points.
Cantor has put in time to develop that perimeter jump shot. It's becoming effortless.
Up in time. And the miss. And the game still closely contested as we end the third quarter. Portland out in front. They lead by 2. We're going to step aside for just a second, but join us right back here for the start of the fourth quarter next. Well, this has been a great contest so far, and I imagine the fourth quarter could have even more action in store for us. The Clippers trail. And on the floor for Portland here in the fourth. Robert Covington out there with Derek Jones. Then there's McCollum. Then there's Norman Powell. And it's Nurkic in at the 5 down low.
There's a certain resiliency to this team, and you're starting to see it.
No doubt, keeping it very close. They're going to have to step up even more to get over the hump here.
Now, here's Nurkic. That falls. Nice feed that time from McCollum.
Taking back the lead once more. Give these teams credit. Man, they are battling.
Neither team willing to give an inch, and neither able to seize the momentum. This has been a fascinating one to watch.
And George gets it to go.
Well, Paul George just putting on a show right now. He's been around this league for a long time. The confidence is there.
Feeds to Jones. The shot, no good. Good work defensively by Morris.
More good work on the glass there. When it's all said and done, I think rebounding might tell the story in this game.
Now here's Jackson. Tries from 10. Rebound by Nurkic. To the paint. Covington kicks to Powell. It's McCollum on the wing. And another one in the scoring column for him. He's 7 of 10 from the field.
And you can't give McCollum any space. Always a threat to pull the trigger.
Jackson passes to George. Zubats against Nurkic. And he lays it straight in. Time running low, guys, and somebody has got to win this one.
Yeah, well, who knows? We might need overtime in this one. It's been that kind of a game.
Now here's McCollum. Second minute off the clock now in the fourth.
You have to love the tenacity, but also the awareness to make sure he came away with that ball.
Now here's Jackson. Pass to Morris. Outside, George beyond the arc. And another 3 for the Clippers.
And with that 3, his second of the half, he's equaled his total from before the break.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. And the Clippers making a change here. Leonard's checked in, and the Trailblazers making a change here as well. Lillard's checked in for Derek Jones. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear Terry Stotts talk to his team during that timeout. He said, this is where we make our move. This game's going to come down to big plays. Whichever team makes them is going to come out of here with the win. Kevin, we know what side he's on.
Kept alive. Good on that shot, and with that, the Los Angeles lead is cut down now to just 2 on the basket from Nurkic. LA has gotten fewer than half of their three-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. Leonard kicks to Jackson. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. Leonard inside. Powell's there. Snatched up. And the dunk by Zubats.
Good to see a player going all out in the games this tight.
You know, G.A., he knows what his job is. Patrol the offensive glass.
And that's so demoralizing to your opponent. To play great defense and have the possession end that way, that's tough to take.
Leonard with the ball. Now Covington defending. Leonard against Covington. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. Robert Covington picks one up.
The best scorers in the game have the ability to get to the free throw line. Kawhi Leonard lives there.
First free throw is good, and that puts them up by 5. So he gets them both, and it's a 6-point ball game.
Well, it's about the little details. Capitalize at the free throw line, add to your lead.
Leonard against Lillard. 1:19 left in the fourth quarter. No one covering. And it's 6 points for Robert Covington.
Robert Covington, calm, cool, and collected.
Now George, and there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
When a pick like that is questionable and creates that much of an advantage for the offense, you have to blow the whistle.
I don't think there's any question. There are so many rules that favor the offense these days. You've got to be able to equal things out when an illegal screen is set.
Now here's Lillard. Nurkic up top. There's 57 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Kicks it out to Lillard. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The shot by Powell, no good. And so it's Jackson who brings it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. They've given up just 8 points in the fourth quarter. Now here's Jackson. Pass to Leonard. Shoots over Powell, and good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. And the Clippers lead by 6. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Now a timeout called by Portland. They're behind by 6. 27 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And now we present our New Balance Player of the Game, Paul George.
And in terms of his shooting, this has been one of the more accurate performances you'll ever see. I mean, he's been in constant motion, creating a lot of good looks for himself. But still, even when you're wide open, you expect to miss some of the time. That has not been the case here tonight. This guy has made everything.
Now here's Lillard. They get the rebound. Nurkic, and denied. He sends it right off the glass. And so they choose to intentionally foul. He hits the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's an 8-point game. 19 seconds left in the fourth. Here's Simons. It counts. Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5. There's 14 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. There's Hollis Jefferson. Giles kicks to Hollis Jefferson. Offline from the top of the key. So the Clippers with the win. It was a fantastic ball game, and they did a great job making sure it didn't get away from them late.
Yeah, I mean, they faced some challenges, but really held firm when they needed to. On both ends, just effective in terms of coming away with this win.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Kawhi, you all had to lead most of the game. So what's the difference playing from ahead as opposed to playing from behind?
I mean, you know, when you're behind, it's tough. You got to use a lot of energy to get back in the lead, and then it's just hard to keep that, you know, energy throughout the whole game. But when you're up, sometimes you get a little bit comfortable, and the other team is, you know, fighting, have that energy, trying to push back. So we just have to stay level-headed when we're out there and just keep moving.
Appreciate your time, man, after a hard win. Back to you, Kevin.